Welcome to Geelong Business Bites, episode number 4. Today we're joined by Andrew Clarke, the owner of Frothy Beer. Welcome, Andrew, to our episode. What a workplace here, mate. This is an amazing sort of view that you've got.
It's great down here. The Wharf Shed's magnificent down here. It's a lovely spot down on Geelong waterfront, and we're lucky to have a nice venue here.
Beautiful. Mate, successful publican, obviously got many great pubs around Geelong and obviously been in other areas as well. You start from a humble beginning, so we probably want to venture back to where it all started from, mate. Obviously born and bred in Swan Hill with 3 sisters, mate, so probably tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, my father had a retail dairy in Swan Hill, and he operated that for a long time, and so my 3 sisters went to boarding school, and Dad said, well, you can stay here and help me. So I went to school and helped him after hours, and that sort of started my working life.
Right, and then so you've gone from the family business, so you're in the family business for a while, so he's got you coming through, working in the backdrops, and then obviously to a retail space?
Yeah, well, basically I was 16 and I was helping him in the business.
Yep.
So then it came to time to, what do I do now? And I said to him, look, can I come and work full time? And in a small country town and that, when times are tough, there wasn't enough room really for me to join the business, so I had to look elsewhere for a job, and so I ended up in Melbourne. I managed to get a cadetship with Qantas. So
nice.
That started me off in the travel industry.
Right, so what age were you when you went to Qantas?
I was 18. Had to pack 18-year-old from the country, pack up and go to Melbourne and find accommodation, and it's all started from there.
So how long were you, so you go to Qantas, so how long were you at Qantas for?
I was at Qantas for 3 years, but in the travel industry I then went out into retail travel, and I was with them for 12 years in the travel industry. Very exciting industry. It was when they were changing from into jumbo jets and things like that, and then automated reservations, so it was a very interesting time.
Yeah. Clarkey, you're moving out of the travel industry, mate, and you decided to buy probably one of the best news agents in Geelong at 31 years of age, mate, moving the whole family from Melbourne down to Geelong. Just talk us about what happened there.
It was just, news agents were very hard to come by in those times, and you had to go to sit before a board and that, and they approved you. So we thought we'd take the risk, and just selling everything up was a big move, and especially just coming down to a place that we didn't even know. We were just sort of moving into new territory, and we found a house to rent, and it was a real experience, real eye-opener.
Yep, right. Just talk to us about a business side of things, because you've come from a salary point of view, then all of a sudden you're making the big move to be an owner of a business, so it would have been a bit daunting. Yeah,
I think it's daunting with every business. When you buy a business, you always worry about is your investment there, and with this one, it's hard work. We started work at 3:30 in the morning, and you'd finish at 7 o'clock at night. And,
yeah, right.
You had 20 or 25 paper boys, and it was very hard work, but it was real experience. Just seeing, and seeing it now. Some of these young paper boys, and like Aaron Pritchard's one who you had an interview with, and he was a paper boy for us. And seeing these young people come on over the years, it's really gratifying.
Yeah, it's good. So I think at the time when you probably come down here, Market Square sort of developed and all that. So it was a big new building for Geelong too.
Yeah, it was actually. We'd opened the news agency. We're operating the news agency, and Market Square was mooted in the council, and we thought, what are we going to do here? We actually purchased a tax lotto agency in Mirabel Street and moved it into the news agency.
Yep. And
we thought, now what do we do now? We've got competition. So I went to Tattersalls and I said, look, can we put a tax lotto agency? And unfortunately they agreed to it. So we still had we operated 2 tax lotto agencies, and probably just take it a step further, then Bay City Plaza started, and that was a real threat again to our business. I thought, what do we do now? We've got all this money committed, and so I went to the agent and I said, look, would you like to put a tax lotto agency in? And they said, oh, of course we do. Have you got one? I said, yeah, we've got a licence. So when I left there, I went straight to Tattersalls and I said, look, I'd like to put a tax lotto agency in the building in the Bay City Plaza. And they said, have you got a premises? I said, yes. I said, okay, you can have the licence.
Oh, beautiful. Didn't have one.
Didn't have one.
Right, so you're in there, then eventually you come to a situation where you look to sell that business and all that, because from what I'm learning from you is that you never want to stand still, do you? You're always looking to what's the next opportunity for you.
Yeah, it was. It was just a case of, we'd sold the news agency, we were just operating Market Square and Bay City Plaza.
Yep.
And then we thought, look, maybe it's time to move on and look at something else. And we purchased a Freedom franchise, furniture franchise, and started that up and sold the tax lotto agencies.
Yep. So you're in from memory, you're in the Freedom Furniture for probably a couple of years, and then sold that.
Yeah, sold that, got out of that, and and then I went and worked for the Geelong Supercats for a couple of years,
Yep.
and went to a retirement village for a couple of years, just looking around to see what's on the market
Yep,
and
righto.
where I would like to go. And I always thought of a hotel.
Yep,
You
righto.
know, that'd be interesting, but probably. Yes, I'll have a go at this.
So anyway, so you're sitting down there, you're working away for a little while, and then all of a sudden, what, the Daylesford Hotel comes up. Did someone tell you about that, or were you just looking in the papers? Or?
Just looking in the papers, yeah, just following it through what was around, and you see many businesses for sale, and then the Royal Hotel in Daylesford. And I said to Michelle, my wife, I said we should go and have a look at this, and we drove up to Daylesford. It was about a week before Christmas, actually, and we pulled up in Daylesford, and there's not a car in the street. And Michelle said, "What the bloody hell are we doing here?" So we thought, well, let's bite the bullet, and so we sort of said, well, let's sell the house and have a go at this.
So how old were the kids at the time when you're making that decision?
The youngest was 14, and she just received a scholarship to go to Geelong Grammar, so we had to go back to the college and say, or the grammar, and say, we're moving out, is there any chance you can board here? Unfortunately, she could. So.
Isn't it amazing how the girls take after their mothers, mate, with their intelligence?
Yeah, so it's very smart.
They're very smart girls, so anyway, you've got up there, and you and Michelle have gone up there by yourself, left the kids behind, and you've moved into the pub?
Moved into the pub, lived upstairs, and basically woke up, went to work, and when you finished, you went to bed.
You went to bed.
You know, you were sort of working from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10, 11 midnight, something like that.
So I guess Michelle's obviously actively involved in the business as well, or is she doing her own things?
No, she was very actively involved and had her behind the bar and carrying meals and doing all the things you do in a hotel. We had accommodation there too. We had 10 rooms. So and Daylesford being a very popular town, you know, sort of flavour of the month. That was, you know, it was a very strong town to have a business in. Very strong business.
Righto. So how long did you own the Daylesford pub for before you started getting a bit of itchy feet again?
Well, I was about 3 years into it, and I thought, well, we may as well have a look at something else.
Yeah.
And so Castlemaine, which was only 20 minutes away, we thought, well, the hotel came there for sale, so we thought, well, let's have a look at that. And so yeah, we bought that.
Righto. So Castlemaine's probably a significant one that because you still got it at the moment. You just recently sold the business itself, but maintained the building. So Billy, you and Billy form a bit of a relationship there. And
yeah, we sort of friends down in Geelong here, and we sort of kept a bit of contact. And he said to me when I bought Castlemaine, he said, I wouldn't mind coming into pubs. I said, oh well, look, you know, have a percentage, you can come in. So Bill joined up with us, and off we went from there. And sort of 20 years later, we're still together.
No arguments?
No, we've never had a real argument. I think we've had a great understanding between the two of us, and I think we're probably very like-minded. Someone told us we were like-minded. Well, that worries me.
That's dangerous.
No, it's been a great partnership. People say partnerships don't work. Ours has, and you know, we respect each other's opinion, and you know.
And he does what you tell him.
That's right.
Correct.
He just gets
that's
behind
great.
the bar.
Yeah, correct. No, he's very good behind the bar. He's very welcoming. So you're up at Cumberland, Castlemaine. Then from there on in, mate, I think you go back to your origins basically, and buy your local pub.
Yeah. What happened was the commercial hotel in Swan Hill became available, and I said, wouldn't mind having a go at this. So Bill and I bought into that, and we had that 6 years, and we had a young manager who's now at the Jan Jack pub, Jamie Collins. He was with us, so he went up there and managed the pub.
He's a terrific bloke too,
Jamie.
Yeah,
good fella, Jamie.
Yeah,
he worked with us for about 15 years before we bought the Jack pub, and he's going well.
He's going exceptionally well down there, which is good.
Yeah, so we bought the pub and renovated it, and
So you're buying and selling at this stage, mate?
We're buying and selling, and it was a bit of a long travel up there. So, and Jamie wanted to come back down to the area, so we decided to sell that, and we ended up buying the Valley Inn.
Valley Inn, yeah.
And that's a great pub. We love the Valley Inn.
But the Valley Inn, you bought that. It was pretty much an old Valley Inn pub, wasn't it? You know, it was a traditional pub, good drinkers pub, and all that type of stuff. I must admit, I've been in Geelong for a while, and I never really even heard of the Valley Inn, you know, until you blokes were involved in it. So did you spend some money on the Valley Inn at all, like renovating it?
Yeah, actually, one time there we spent some money. We actually painted the ceiling, and we put new lights in. New fluorescent lights in. The customers came in and said, "You did a great job painting it." All we did was put the new fluoro lights in. So, we spent a little bit of money on it, not much. We just didn't want to lose the character of the pub. Then when we eventually bought the freehold at auction, and then we sold that. You know, moved on. Sold the freehold and the leasehold.
So then, is that the time when you moved on and bought the Cremorne?
Yes, we bought the Cremorne, and we bought that off market, and thought it was always was a good pub.
Well, it's in a beautiful spot. And I guess that, Newtown and Geelong West, all those places have become vibrant with a lot of young families and all that moving into it too. So it was always going to be a good pub. It's just how you manage it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and the clientele we've got there is terrific, except for a couple.
Except for a couple of us.
No,
we don't get too noisy, do we?
No, terrific customers base there, and we never have any trouble. And it's just everyone goes there, and it's just a great environment.
Yeah, look, I must admit it's a very relaxing pub to get into, mate. I really enjoy going there. Don't like getting kicked out, but I love going there constantly.
I love you when you forget to pay your bill.
Oh, and leave the credit card there too. All right, so you're at the Cremorne. Billy's over there with you as well. I think at that stage too, there was an opportunity to buy this particular business, the Wharf Shed, as well, which has been you've bought the Wharf Shed and you spent quite a lot of money into it, and it's become a go-to point, I think, in Geelong. It looks spectacular. You've done a great job here.
Well, it was an opportunity that came up that we sort of heard in the background it might be available, so we made an approach, and over a series of 6 months or so, we ended up taking it on, and then we sort of got in here and had a look at how it was operating and things like that. You've got to give it 6 months. Sometimes you make all these decisions early and it doesn't work. So we gave it 6 months, and then we and the council were really terrific. We worked very closely with the Geelong City Council, and they've been very helpful with us, how we're going to renovate it and do the renovations that you see now.
Yeah.
We spent $2 million renovating it.
Yeah.
And we finished the renovation in November, and then COVID came in February.
In February, yeah.
So
we'll touch on the COVID in a minute, but I think you got a great partnership with CUB as well, and they've you can see your barrels and all that. It looks really good. Or what do they call these things again? The
tank beer.
The tank beer and all that type of stuff. It looks fantastic. It's a great look.
Yeah, it's a great look, and it's a great beer. It's a different beer too. It's got no preservatives in it. It comes in like a big petrol tanker, comes in and basically plugs it in and fills it up.
So no hangovers?
No hangovers, and we don't have to carry the kegs.
No, that's right, perfect. You don't have to worry about the back anymore. No. Righto, so we've got this, and then all of a sudden we're still working away, and then another pub comes up. Talk us through about that one there, the Commoner Fiend.
The Commoner Fiend, yes, we found out that was on the market, and when we had the Valley Inn, the Commoner Fiend was always our pub. We thought we'd like to get that one. It's a great looking pub, very similar to the Valley Inn.
Yes.
So that came on the market, and within probably a couple of hours we bought it.
Yeah.
We found out it was on the market,
so
we thought great opportunity there, similar to the Valley Inn, and we thought, well, let's get back into that.
It was a good opportunity because it's been a long, the Whitleys.
Yeah.
It's been a long family pub, and
obviously they've been there 35 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And Andrew's dad had it before that, Neville. So
Neville, the great Neville Hampton.
Hampton, he was a well-known publican in Geelong for many years, and Andrew continued the tradition with it. Yeah,
I think I know it must be good because we have a lot of staff that go there on a regular basis, mate, for lunches, and they love their meals. So it's obviously it's a pretty good pub. All right, Clarkey, you've been in the business for a long time now, so you've seen lots of changes just from people turning up and smoking in the pubs at the time, and just 7 ounces beers, all the way through now to all the changes that you've seen with no smoking in bars anymore, your RSAs, pokies that come into it, drink driving. Just talk to us about all the changes that you've seen.
Oh well, smoking was a real worry to us when it was mooted that they were going to bring it in. The government ban smoking in bars, and we thought this will be the end of the public bar drinking. But in actual fact, it changed it a little bit, and we ended up. Initially, it was a bit of a worry, but then ladies and that started coming back. Couples came out in bars. So really, smoking in some ways was good for the industry as far as bringing customers back.
So you see a move from probably bar drinking to actually having people coming in as families to have meals.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Look, the hotels are really the hub of the community, especially in regional Victoria and that, and people just want to go there and enjoy themselves. So, but we have drink driving, and that's always been a worry. But then you bring out a light beer or a Great Northern beer, which is very acceptable as a light beer. So people are they do understand their drink driving and what they do. A lot of people, with Ubers and taxis and things like that, so they pre-plan.
Pre-plan it, that's right. Yeah. Pokies. Talk to me about the introduction of the pokies into the pub scene.
Yeah, pokies changed. I think the industry really changed when pokies came in. There was a lot of hotels on the brink of closure.
Yes.
And when pokies came in, and look, people have been going interstate for years to play poker machines.
That's right.
nothing new. They're going busloads up to Echuca and things like that.
Those RSLs, the golf trips and all that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that changed how pubs operated and that, and they opened them up, and look, they've been very good for hotels.
Yeah.
And it's also pokies have also given those hotels the opportunity to expand their food and beverage offer and that
Yep.
as well. So
Right, that's good.
it's had a great benefit for within the hotel and also for the customers.
Perfect. So COVID hits, mate. Obviously, shuts down the whole industry. You know, no one's out and all that type of stuff. You've succeeded obviously through that period because you've made acquisitions and so forth, and you've maintained good quality staff and all that. Just how did it hit you guys?
Oh, look, COVID was a disaster. It really, the worst hit industry was the hospitality industry. You know, they were very harsh on us, and you know, everyone else had. We seemed to felt like we had different rules for hospitality than any other business. You know, you could get 2,000 people in Bunnings, and you couldn't put 20 in the Cremorne.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
right.
So it was very tough, and then we closed down. And what did we do with the staff? They were getting, you know, JobKeeper and that. But so what we did, we met with the staff every week, and we'd have something up here at the Wharf Shed, so all the staff would get together and might play a little game, and then someone would have to cater. Great having chefs, because the chef would cater for each different one, so there'd be cakes and everything come out. So we managed to keep the staff, keep them involved, and you know, look, financially it cost us a lot of money, and you know, there's some hotels who you know, are struggling now, even just to get back on their feet.
Well, it's always, I guess it's those ones that really get into pubs as a new pub, and you know, they've all got loans and all that type of stuff. So you know, it was disastrous.
Well, a lot of the publicans had their house on the line and that, but fortunately the Australian Hotels Association really sort of grabbed it by the throat and went and worked with the government to try and get the best outcome for hotels. Look, it's hard work when you're in the hotel industry and liquor and gaming, and you go to a health and you're dealing with the health department who've got, you know, different views about the business.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of the politicians, they're not business people, they don't understand what we were going through. They were saying they did understand, but they probably didn't understand financially where it all was. So fortunately, that with the work of the Australian Hotels Association, with Paddy O'Sullivan, our CEO, and Dave Kenny, our president, they were very strong and very at the table with the government discussing things. So.
I just touch on the AHA. Like, you know, they've been probably one of the industry leaders to support their members, you know, and I think that by the look of it, the numbers of the members over the AHA have grown during this period of time, because there's a lot of publicans out there that needed that support, and they've come into the AHA, and obviously the boys who are fantastic at their job have just accepted them with open arms and just really provided that support to them to help them through that process.
Oh, definitely. Look, the members were always there, but I don't think they realised that the opportunity what the AHA could give them, and so with their Zoom meetings, and we were looking for so much information about where it was all going, and unfortunately they could do that, and the AHA had over 1,000 members now, active members, so they're very, very, very strong.
And obviously with the AHA, the support and all the sponsors and all that, it just seems to be the communication piece from the AHA to us as supporters and all that. It just seems to be a really tight-knit family.
Well, look, you know, our commercial partners, which Adroit obviously a commercial partner, they've been tremendous to us during this time. You know, they've been very supportive of us, and also from the AHA's point of view, we've been able to give them a lot of information that they haven't been able to get.
Yes.
So we've sort of had this information going out to our corporate sponsors, and look, it's been a real partnership, and we're just so lucky that we've got so many good corporate sponsors, and they've stuck by us, and you know, hoteliers will stick by them. Yeah,
look, we're involved in a lot of different associations, and I just see that the AHA is just so further advanced in all their communication piece and all that type of stuff. You know, it's a big congratulations to the boys at the top, because it has been amazing what they've done.
Well, yeah, look, it's been an amazing team effort at the AHA. Look, we've got specialist operators there. Workplace relations, you know, membership, corporate partnerships, and really the team there, they've just really worked their butt off to get us through. They have been good. And mate, obviously talking about the AHA, mate, you've been on the executive committee for some time now, mate. How many years you've been on? Obviously nothing happens without you, of course. No, I was on the executive from 2014 and still there at the moment. So yeah, it's been very interesting. And I think the COVID one, when COVID came along, and I bring that up again, is that the executive have become very tight and work very closely together.
Yep.
It's been a really good organisation to work with, and there's a lot of skills on the executive that sort of complement each other.
That's good. Because obviously being on a committee, it's a lot of volunteer time too, isn't it? It's a big commitment, because you've got businesses to run, but you're still putting a lot of quality time into it as well.
Yeah, look, I think you do that because of for the industry. Yeah, you do that because you're part of the industry, and you're giving something back. Yes. And I think all the executives give something back. And it's not only that; the hoteliers and the councillors all around Victoria they also get together and support each other.
That's right. And the AHA recently held their awards, which just acknowledges all the great pubs and all that out there. But the biggest award that I thought was the Carcass Award, which was the award for excellence this year, mate. And congratulations on receiving that award.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was a complete shock. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there having a couple of beers, enjoying the night, and they just made the announcement, and sort of leaves you a bit flat-footed. You don't know what to say or what to do, and anyway, you get up there and try and put it all together.
Would have been a big night. Did you go home?
No, I actually stayed there. A bit late. No, it was a great, but something you never expect, and when you think about it 2 or 3 days afterwards, and think, oh yeah, that was a.
Well, I think an award like that is just a great acknowledgement of your peers. In terms of how they hold you in high regard within what you've achieved and everything that you've done within the industry, mate. So it's a fantastic award.
Yeah, no, it's
the Brownlow.
It's a Brownlow. What have Gary Ablett and I got in common? We've got a
Brownlow. That's right. There's one little thing I want to touch on, mate, which not many people would know. You've probably 25 years as a bail justice. Now, being a bail justice, there's good bits to it, there's bad bits to it, there's calls at 3 o'clock in the morning and all that type of stuff. Just tell me about your role as a bail justice.
Yeah, well, it was something that I've been out of it for 3 years now, but 28 years ago, the police came to us and came to me and said, look, the JPs and that, we're changing the system. We're going to have bail justices where they do bails at the police station. So I went to Melbourne and did a course, and so what it basically is, when you get called in by the police and they want to remand them, they need to have a bail, what they call a bail hearing.
Yep.
So you conduct the bail hearing as an independent person, based for the person accused and for the police and that, and you just work out, if they usually want to apply for bail, so you've got to find out reasons why to and fro. So it's been very interesting over the number of bails. I've done them in bails in Geelong and Castlemaine and Swan Hill and Dalesford, and so it's been very interesting. But it's something you do. It's a volunteer thing, and then just do it for the community. But so it was a very interesting.
Clarke, just to probably finish off, we've got a lot of businesses that do see this video, and there's probably a lot of people that want to get into businesses. Just talk us. You've been there. You're continually looking for businesses and all that type of stuff. Just give us a bit of an idea of what it is to run a successful, how to become a successful sort of business person.
Well, it's pretty hard to answer in some ways, but just from my own personal experience, you always look around. If you come across a business, like a hotel business, you look at it, you basically understand what it is. It's a case of make sure you do your due diligence properly. Make sure you have a good look at the business. Take the emotion out of it, because you get a bit emotionally to it, and you get excited, and I want this, and the bank will say you can't do that, and you say yes we can, and I think you've got to be, if you want to go out to business now, you really got to put your neck on the line and be willing to have a go. And if you've got an asset, well, you've really got to say, well, do I stay in the house, or do I really put the house on the line?
Market.
And it's the hardest thing is to come from working for someone to work for yourself, because working for someone you're a bit regimented, but working for yourself you're not regimented. You have to put the hours in and do long hours and really focus on the business and what you're doing.
Look, it's also focused on the staff, your customers and all that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, just look at where your market is, and is it the right business to buy? Is that the one you really want to do? Can you do something with it? Is it at its peak, or is it at its slowest?
Yeah, that's right.
And I think it's really a lot of it's hard work and common sense.
Yeah. No, thanks. Wise words, no doubt about it. Thank you for tuning in today. It's been a really good interview. I've been looking forward to this one, to be quite honest. I knew it was always be entertaining. So, and now that I get back to the Cremorne, I might get a couple of free beers. So we're looking forward to that. Isn't that right, Clarkey?
Is that you're going to buy?
You're going to buy 3 beers.
You're buying 3 beers.
I'm always buying. Thank you for tuning in today, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you in 2022.